86 wonderful, no, 80. 80 wonderful milligrams of caffeine in a V8 energy, steady energy, and supports focus, pomegranate, blueberry, 8-ounce drink. Opens up the first day of the rest of our lives. It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. And today, Georgia, Georgia, the Masters begins. But oh, wait, that's not all. In the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder are the 1 seed in the West, going to Los Angeles and beating the Clippers 128-110. San Antonio, sorry, nothing you could do about it. Oh, that Drake Toll guy 3 weeks ago who said, look at this race. Hold on. We've got a race in the West. Wrong. Lies. No, it was always Oklahoma City's. The Nuggets last night, granted they were playing the Grizzlies, looked good. Looked good. Jokic, a triple-double. Shocking, I know. 136, 119 over the Grizz. And, how about those Cavs? It was the game of the day because the Hawks almost came back. 122-116. A fascinating contest to watch in the National Hockey League yesterday. Again, man, we're a week away from the postseason. We're headed there. We are aggressively close in both the NBA and the NHL. Next weekend, we will have the playoffs in professional sports. But last night in hockey, rocked. Because this is crunch time. This is the end of the season. You have a handful of games left. Caps over the Maple Leafs, 4-0, blanked them on the road. What happened to Toronto, man? What a fall apart this year. What a brutal season for Leafs fans. Sabres over the Rangers, 5-3. What a brutal season in New York. And the Oilers knock off the San Jose Sharks on the road, 5-2. But that's not even all. You don't know what else happened? Bryson DeChambeau. Story we have to get to today. We'll use a 3D printed 5-iron. I like my masters to be old school. I like my masters to be, or guys, true red-blooded Americans. They use golf clubs made by human hands. A 3D printed glove. It only makes sense from one golfer, and that's Bryson DeChambeau. And you heard yesterday how John Rahm being at this tournament is a point of contention for everyone. Because, the live golf thing, we kind of put it down for a second and just play the Masters and let it ride out. Not John Rahm. He walks in the room, everybody points and laughs and says, oh, there he is, the live guy, John Rahm. You suck. Story to follow. Oh, and then Cade Cunningham, right? One of the best players in the NBA this season. 24.5 points per game, 6 rebounds, 10 assists. That's good. It's really good. Should be all NBA, right? Wrong, because his lung collapsed. Literal lung collapsed. He is no longer eligible for awards in the National Basketball Association. You must play 65 games. And they're sticking to that. Arbitrary amount of games. Let's just pick a number. Got to play 65. If you don't play 65, you can't win anything. So you could theoretically, for 64 games, be the best basketball player on the planet. The obvious MVP. An obvious NBA first-team player. All defense. Any of those. You could have 28 assists per game. 23 rebounds per game. You can average 45 points per game in 64 games, and you get, that's right, nothing. No one's counting. Points don't matter at that point. You didn't play 65 games. That's the issue the NBA is running into with the Cade Cunningham situation. The Detroit Pistons, who are very good this season, with or without Cunningham, still a very good basketball team. You'll need him to win an NBA title. I do believe that. But the fact that he won't be an award winner for any of the awards, oof, that's tough. But I still think today, my favorite story, the A1 story, the one I want to get to first. Love. Feel like making, feel like making. Did Dianna, Russini, and Mike Vrabel get it on? That's the question of the day, man. And yesterday we talked about the beauty of yesterday's show is I felt like we got to be the first national radio show, the first show to talk about this. And what I found funny, and funny might be the wrong word, but I chuckled a little bit, is I've told you this before on the Drake Toll show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. By the way, I am Drake Toll. I would never order a whole pizza for just myself, but I am Drake Toll. And you can call the show or text the show at 310-840-4910. I watch a quad box. I put all of the I watch a quad box where I put all the major networks on my television in front of me. And that's weird. Not a single big sports brand talked about the Dianna Russini thing. It's almost like this insider trading. Like, oh, we can't talk about Dianna like that. Like, she's our friend. She's Dianna. I even called Addie yesterday. I was like, Addie, am I getting you in trouble? Is Dianna one of your sources, somebody that you're connected with or close to in the league? She's like, oh, not really, actually. So we're good. This show, we don't have insider trading. We don't have lobbyists. We're not service to the interests. We can talk about Mike Vrabel and Dianna Russini, whether or not they got it on, and not fear repercussion from Dianna Russini. As long as we, check our boxes, our P's and Q's. This is all alleged. No one knows if they really got it on. The only two people who know, Dianna Russini, Mike Vrabel, and God.
It came in so fast and so hard.
Those are the entities who are aware of what happened on that spicy Sedona evening. That spicy Sedona Saturday, if you want more alliteration. This Foxy Foxborough scandal. We got Sedona Gate with Vrabel and Rousini. So here's your little context. This Sedona scandal involves the head coach of an NFL team, Mike Vrabel. They played in the Super Bowl. There's Drake Mays somewhere in the corner like, Coach, please, how do we defeat the Seahawks? Their defense is so good. Mike Vrabel's just double interlocked holding hands with Dianna Russini. Not now, Drake. I'm holding hands with a lady. Platonically, as friends in the hot tub. It involves Mike Vrabel, NFL head coach, and Dianna Russini, not NFL head coach. She is the Athletics, the Athletics senior insider. She doesn't get much bigger than Dianna Russini at the Athletic. She is now in the center of the biggest off-field firestorm the NFL is dealing with today. Thank you, Roger Goodell. What an odd situation not to be on the phone for. But these tabloid headlines sparked debate yesterday. And I felt like we were the first show that really got to attack it. That we got to attack it in full. And part of this is kind of an unspoken rule that I didn't even get to. Here's what I didn't give you yesterday. And I forgive myself. I thought about this, and I was right in not forcing this storyline yet. But damn, this is just terrible journalism. Yesterday, we talked about the implications of, all right, Dianna Russini's got a family. Mike Vrabel's got a family. He's the NFL coach. She's the insider. Hot.
That ball had a family, a wife, 4 kids, living in the suburbs.
Oh! So does Mike Vrabel. Doesn't seem to matter. We're still going to Sedona, group trips. But what I didn't give you yesterday is that these are two people who work jobs. This isn't like, hey, did you see that, I don't know, CEO of financial company is possibly doing the dirty with the CFO of a medical sales company. Like, well, they're two powerful people, but they work for different companies, and yeah, they have families, but ultimately doesn't affect my life. And you know what? Probably doesn't affect their work. One of them's with a financial company, one of them's with medical sales. This, though, no. This is different. Witnesses saw the pair, Vrabel and Rousini, sharing a 90-minute breakfast on the patio, lounging side by side, shirtless and in swimsuits, which is the normal thing you would do in the hot tub with someone you're very platonic with. They were dancing and hugging, allegedly, on a private bungalow, and, here we go, drum roll, please. We still don't have a drum roll. They were interlocking fingers, standing face to face.
Delayed drum roll.
Buried the drum roll. Yep, thank you there, Curtis. They were interlocking fingers while standing face to face. And both of them, Vrabel called it innocent, completely innocent, laughable. Rousini said she was there with a group of 6 colleagues hanging out. Automatic. Catholic all-girls school. Automatic. Aurora. Automatic. And here's why it's explosive. Not just because they're both family-first people, but the conflict of interest. Rousini's job, all right, and not to pin it on her, not to blame this entire thing. I'll get to Vrabel, not to put this just on the woman in this case. We're like, oh, Rousini must have done this to sabotage the NFL, to sabotage the Patriots. Like, no. Surely these two, in their very close friendship and the years of weird quotes that Rousini has said about Mike Vrabel that we'll get to later in the show, surely they can be friends. But if it's her job, and I'll start with her, to report objectively on the NFL, and she's intimately involved with a head coach, and intimate does not mean they're, like getting it on, like hooking up, automatic. What intimate means is it's an intimate moment to lock your hands with someone, to lock your fingers with them, both hands, and stare longingly into their eyes.
Touch yourself.
But now, every scoop she breaks regarding the Patriots or the Jets or the Bills, that feels like, to me, that information's compromised. It's fed to her via Vrabel. Like, who's to say he's not a source? They're sitting in the hot tub together. Or this information she's putting out is compromised because maybe it's to help Vrabel's agenda. Come to find out, people were realizing yesterday she's only ever talked very oddly positively about that big boy, Mike Vrabel. And I say big boy because it's actually like one of her quotes is he was so big that he couldn't be hired by NFL teams because they were intimidated by him. What about the smoking gun with A.J. Brown? Rousini, she spent months reporting that the Eagles wide receiver, A.J. Brown, was a name to watch to go to New England. Hi, Mike. It's Dianna. Hey, Dianna. It's Mike. You think you could help me get A.J. Brown? Oh, wow, Mike. Maybe. What do you need me to do? I'm not saying the phone call went like that, but it is oddly suspicious that Dianna Russini, whose husband is a notable Eagles fan, she's also mentioned that, has this smoking gun around her. Or she's the one who spent months saying, what if New England and A.J. Brown got it on? What if they made it happen? What if New England and A.J. Brown went to Sedona? Yeah, that's where me and all my friends go. And Eagles fans are accusing her of driving the platform and driving down Brown's trade value to help Vrabel land a star player. Other coaches, GMs, you got to be aware of this, right? If you think that now one of the NFL's top insiders is a Vrabel disciple or Team Vrabel or against you in comparison to him, why would you feed her information? Why would you trust her? It might go straight to the New England front office. If I tell Dianna Russini this, am I telling Mike Vrabel that? I don't want that personally in my insider and the person that I'm communicating with in the National Football League. I want to know that my insider is very much in love with her own husband. Is very much in love with her own husband and won't feed my information to Mike Vrabel. But Vrabel and Rousini, who were seen at the Ambient in Sedona, this is ultra expensive adults only hotel that specializes in romantic getaways for couples.
Touch yourself.
It comes from an insider who said some interesting things in the past. I'm going to give you later on the show, 7:20 a.m. Eastern Time. Set your alarms for the top 5 weirdest things Dianna Russini has ever said about her husband. We've compiled them. We went into the archives on Dianna Russini, who feels compelled to talk frequently about her husband's lack of performance as a human being, not just as like a guy. She's not very impressed. Here's what she had to say about not telling her husband about her partying down in Miami.
They have a Super Bowl.
No, I did things in Miami I haven't even told my husband because it's just I had that much fun. It was well, not like that, but like I knew he would he would judge the kind of partying I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what got into me. I just remember being down there acting like it was my last day on earth.
Yeah. Okay. This is funny. Cantaloupe and Addie put this in the show today too. So we worked together on this one. This is Dianna Rousini describing her own husband in essence.
I'm married to someone average. I don't post a lot about him. If I was married to someone beautiful, I'd overpost too.
Now, this doesn't seem nice. We have put together photos of Diana's husband here for everyone to see so you can make some amends on national television.
We're average together. And you know what the worst part is? He sent me a text during that segment, not watching because he actually works for a living. And he said, good luck today. Be great on Get Up. So the guy's got a heart of gold, and here I am on national TV killing him. Look, we're average together, but he makes me above average because he married me. So I am so sorry. I need to really stop killing my husband on television. I'm going to be divorced by Christmas.
Yeah. I'm going to be divorced by Christmas. Just a weird thing to say. A couple months before your spicy getaway that Mike Vrabel just so happened to be at. Telling you, man, we're crossing the lines of work. That's journalism. Hey, coming up, the Masters begins today, but notably, guess who's not there? Tiger Woods. Here's why it is such a good thing that Tiger Woods is not in this Masters. Well, how could you say that about a legend, huh? I'll tell you exactly how I can say it. Coming up, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. This is the Drake Toll Show.
The stories that matter from the
Touch yourself.
Bananas.
Westwood One!
It is the Drake Toll Show. Curtis Poindexter's one opportunity to press every button in the studio. Each day, we give him complete and total amnesty at 6:23 Eastern Time. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on your radio. Nice. Curtis he has one day, not even off. He has one day out of the show. He comes back firing.
I know,
Curtis,
I was still in the building at the
spend...
same time, too. That's the sad part.
Were you really? Yeah, I was told by Laura Jimenez, who ran the board yesterday, that you were still listening. No one could give me a substantial answer to where you were yesterday because you weren't off. You were still working. What were you doing? Touch yourself.
I was in a dark little room down the hall for 13 hours doing 2-minute updates of the Masters all day. Very fun.
You yourself are recording them?
No, it's literally 30 seconds of talking and then playing one spot. Had me press one button. Twice an hour. 13 hours.
If anyone can do it, it's you. Congrats, big guy. Nicely done.
It came in so fast and so hard.
And now you're back. And speaking of the Masters, that's where I wanted to go next. I don't give a rat's ass about Tiger Woods. Good answer. I do. I don't. Tiger's one of those guys, and if we've learned anything about sports, I've told you this. You should know this by now, is that you can do whatever you want. You can take hydrocodone and drive a car. You can drive that car into a fire hydrant and then subsequently hit a tree. You can flip a car going 85 and a 45 or a 35, whatever it was. You know what? You can take hydrocodone again. You can get a DUI again, and you can call the president and tell the cops, I'm on the phone with the president. Yet still, we in the sports world don't care. We don't care. Why don't we care? Because you are a legend, because you are good at hitting a golf ball. And because you're good at hitting a golf ball, because you're good at reading a cover two, because you're good at setting a screen, rolling, catching the basketball, and dunking it, because you're Pete Weber, you can bowl a perfect game. We give you a free pass as an athlete to do pretty much whatever you want. And in Tiger's case, I sat down with somebody yesterday, and he said, it's just sad, isn't it? And I thought, what? The fact that he cheated on his wife with over 100 women, allegedly. It's known that he was having nefarious relationships, but it's alleged that it was over 100 women. Over 100 women. That's how many came forward. Like, is that the sad part? No. Is it sad that this sports legend is addicted? Obviously, has a problem with drugs? No, that's not the sad part. Okay, what's the sad part? What's the sad part here? Your kids don't have a good role model in this guy, and they can't watch him off the course and say, oh, wow, I want to be that guy one day. Like Mike, I want to be just like Mike. I mean, yes. Maybe Michael Jordan had a gambling problem and possibly had to leave basketball for a short period of time to, dissuade that. But, compared to what Tiger's done, it's just a kid's birthday party. But no, the guy was like, I feel so bad that, not for his family, not for his fans, but that he doesn't get to play the Masters this year. Masters just won't be the same like Tiger Woods, you know what I'm talking about? Like, this is, you ever seen The Music Man? If you haven't seen The Music Man, it is Matthew Broderick's in the new iteration of it with Kristen Chenoweth. It's Broadway play, and this guy, Harold Hill, he's a salesman. He's like this used car salesman, but instead of used cars, he's selling instruments. And he goes to small towns just like yours across America, and he sells them instruments. And it's this big grift. He makes a lot of money off this grift. And everybody loves him. Smooth talker. Harold Hill, he can do no wrong. But ultimately, somewhere down at the bottom of this, Harold Hill's not good for the community. Harold Hill's not a good example. We trust him. We continue to trust him. But somewhere deep down in there, you know that Harold Hill isn't a good reflection of this community. Like, we don't want that guy. You tell me somebody's walking into our community taking opioids and crashing cars? No, not in my Mayberry, not in my town. No, sir. No outsider is going to come in here, drunk, high, driving, whatever this is, and go creating chaos in my city. You wouldn't allow the Harold Hill after a while. You'd read through it, and you'd kick the guy out of town. But no, you immortalize Tiger. You love Tiger. Tiger's a legend in your book. He can do whatever he wants. Why? Because, well, he doesn't live in my town, on my street. If he did, and he was going 85 and a 35 or a 45, whatever it was, then you'd take issue. But you don't take issue. Why? Professional athlete. And professional athlete, good at athlete. So I love them, and I hope they win. And I don't really care about anybody else around them or their home life or their family or my hometown, and how Tiger driving through my hometown could be a legitimate problem because Tiger has a legitimate problem driving. None of that matters to you. You just want them to win. You just want to see the Masters ain't going to be the same this year. We idolize people who we wouldn't want in our own communities. Ooh, did he cook? Did he cook? Did you hear that? We idolize people who we don't want in our own communities. I see it on Facebook every day. The Valonia, Arkansas community page, the China Spring, Texas community page, the Troy, Texas Neighbors Loving Neighbors, the Wilmington Island, Georgia community. I mean, all these damn community pages on Facebook for no reason. And when they're not AI memes, they're all, whoever is in the red Tahoe, license plate starts with SY1, you are an idiot. You almost killed me and my family this morning driving to school, going 64 in a 45. If you want to go fast, do it somewhere else. I see that Facebook post every day. That's just Tiger Woods. That's the guy you idolize. That's the guy you love. And you wouldn't want him in your own community, would you? I don't need him. I don't need Tiger Woods in my Masters. You know what's crazy about this too is I get it though. Like, it's human nature. When you start to love these athletes, you start to love these personalities, you start to love these people as if they are anything to you, legitimately anything to you, or as if you are anything to them. Man, no matter what Tiger does, or insert politician, or insert beloved community member, insert family, no matter what they do, man, there's something about it. I love watching it. you forgive the things you wouldn't allow in your own community, and you idolize the people that do these things that you wouldn't allow in your own community. And now it leads to this situation where there are people across America who I think are a little off base when they say that the Masters this year is going to be worse without 50-year-old Tiger Woods. 5 green jackets, 5-time champion. 5-time champion. And him not being there, certainly a shock to the system. We got to talk. I get it. I understand this. Even I find the Masters to have a little bit more of that allure when Tiger's there. But here's why him not being there is ultimately better for the game. And better for the game? That's stupid right there. That guy ain't got no idea what he's talking about. Well, no, hold on. The narrative of the Masters this year gets to shift to now. Let's be honest. Tiger, not a current contender. Not. And every year that Tiger plays the Masters, the older he gets, the more car wrecks he has, the more surgeries he has, the more ladies he takes on spicy trips to Sedona, Arizona. The more often that happens, the more the narrative has shifted from Tiger Woods, the golfer, to, oh, look, Tiger Woods, the novelties at the Masters. They invited him to play? So it's regardless of how he's playing, the cameras are going to follow Tiger Woods. He's going to limp down the entire course. At every warm-up swing, he's going to wince. And you'll follow Tiger the entire tournament despite him missing the cut, despite him not even being there on Sunday. But still, man, I wonder how Tiger feels about this. And it takes away from Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler and Matt Fitzpatrick. I'm going to throw Matt Fitzpatrick in there because he's one of my bets to win this year. You're going to get a cleaner broadcast. No Tiger Watch. No, I've got to tune in. I got to see what Tiger's up to. And the broadcast knows it, and CBS has to continue to mention where Tiger is. Tiger is currently using the restroom. Tiger is in the porta potty on hole 7. Tiger. It's just his microphone on his lapel. You hear him unzip his pants. You don't have that. We don't have that this year. We don't have the Tiger.
Touch yourself.
We don't have the competition that revolves around a Tiger circus. This is a cleaner Masters. We're going to prioritize humans over icons. The best thing right now, I think Bubba Watson talked about this, the best thing right now is for Eldrick Taunt Woods to not be a golfer. Just go back to being the little kid, please. After another DUI arrest. Subsequently gets an order from a judge, and not an order, it wasn't demanded this, but gets permission from a judge to leave the country. And remember, you and I, if we crash cars and then say that we're on the phone with the president, we get thrown into the psych ward. Tiger Woods gets permission to go overseas and out of the country and rehab in Bali or wherever he is, somewhere off the coast of Burma. And golfers have been transparent this week. Tiger needs to focus on being a human being. Big goal for him is to not be a golfer. And by not playing, you know what? Not only is it better for the TV product, we don't have this Tiger cam, but it's probably better for, drum roll please, Tiger damn Woods, man. If him not playing in the Masters is good for anybody, it's probably good for Tiger. He gets to acknowledge his health and his family have to come before the game. And that's more inspiring to me. Him fixing his life is more inspiring to me than a hobbled, limping 78. Tiger lines up. This is for double bogey. That's not, I don't need that on hole 14. I don't. This gives an opportunity to, by the way, gives an opportunity to pass the torch toward players who you might not like. Bryson DeChambeau, who I'm he is who he is, right? He's kind of a doofus. I say that lovingly. You know, a lot of people don't like Bryson DeChambeau. It's this old golf, new golf. Do we like YouTube? Do we want to watch the YouTube? Do we hate golf's evolving the last couple of years? And now this YouTuber, or if you don't like Bryson, if you like Scotty Scheffler, who doesn't use 3D printed clubs, last I checked, the kids, think about the kids. You know, if you're aged 8 to 18 watching golf, you got to see, maybe you remember Tiger in 19. Maybe you remember that. But now it's time to turn your attention to Bryson DeChambeau. It's time to turn your attention to Scotty Scheffler, to those guys, and give them to Rory McIlroy. It's time to teach your kids what a weird dude Rory McIlroy says, and all you have to do is play his sound bites from press conferences and the podium. You can move on this year and teach your kids it's not all about Tiger, but there are a lot of damn scratch golfers at the top of this game right now that they could be idolizing and watching. And every year Tiger teed it up, there was a manufactured media narrative that he could actually win. No, he couldn't. Give up. He hasn't finished better than 38th since his win in 2019. He wasn't going to compete. He was going to hobble out there. It's better for the game that Tiger's not becoming a distraction of this year's Masters. It's better for Tiger that Tiger gets help during this year's Masters. His absence removes any false hope for you. It's better for you, the viewer, any false hope for you that, oh, wow, I think Tiger could really do it this year. He hasn't finished better than 38th since 2019. We just lost we just lost, without Tiger playing in the Masters, a guy who wasn't going to make the cut as it is. And if he did, he'd be on the very back end, and we'd be forced to watch it no matter what. Tiger lining up for a bogey on 11. Ooh, he misses it. Putt goes right. Like, all right, great. Thank you, Tiger. Awesome. Let's continue to watch you do this the rest of the day. Now we don't have to. Coming up, biggest losers of the day. The Dodgers? Well, I mean, like, usually, but maybe not this time. We'll see. This is Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Every team.
Go on trial just for laughing at the joke, just for saying of the bargain what any sales girl already knows. Most of us old men die at the firing line, just waiting for our number to be called. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Now the king gets his stepson when he's loaded as a gun. Says a real man is like a country. You need a map to find your one. Now I do you suppose you must approach the throne with its back up against the wall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. Minds of my generation gladly conscripted in the war of defending any Goliath that would deign darken the door. Now with your genius for picking battles, it's no wonder every helmet is too small. I guess time just makes fools of us all. I guess time just makes fools of us all. is watered down. The champ is on his knees. He lost the rematch. He lost the comeback. He lost for charity. But that's the job. It's what gets the asses in the hall. They came for a beating. And he came to brawl. Serve your client notice that of all the young gods I have known, yours is easily the least famous to turn down the cover of a Rolling Stone. Lily white faces, so familiar and yet impossible to recall. I guess time just makes fools of us all. After a millennia of good times, God said, hey man, let's have a dream where we raise the stakes a little. Come on, let's make things interesting. Parachute into the Anthropocene. An amnesiac, a himbo Kendall. I guess time does make fools of us all.
Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Bang, man. Addie, you reminded me that yesterday was boat day. I went to look at this boat, and good deal. Saved up all year. Santa Claus was very kind, smiled upon me. I, unlike Tim Allen, did not kill him. Are you kidding me right now? Are they really? Again, I'm quad boxing, watching all the national networks. They're running damn Tiger Woods promos. He's not even there. It's the Drake Toll Show, Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. I went yesterday to see this boat, and thing of beauty. Checked all the boxes. It's good. And you know what? I learned a lot about boats yesterday. Boats don't depreciate that aggressively. Take care of them. Keep up with it. Sell it in a few years for the same price you bought it for. 1997 Mako. So it's an older boat, but it's nice. Do you have
your license?
The next week's going to be a long process of doing all of that. Registering the boat, registering the trailer, getting a license, fishing. I want to fish in the ocean because, I live on the ocean. I never thought that I would have a boat. And then 3 years ago, I moved to the ocean and was like, so how do I get out there? Well, you have to have a boat. Well, all right, sweet.
Wow. It's usually how you have to get out in the ocean. Wow.
Also saw a yacht yesterday in Savannah on the river. Savannah's one of the premier yacht places in the world because we fix them. We're renowned for fixing yachts. We're not renowned for, being on them or affording them, just for making sure the other people have them fixed and ready to go. And what I've learned recently is I can walk the streets of Savannah, see a yacht, right? and then immediately Google whose yacht that is. Yachts are that rare. They're so expensive and sparse that I can be like, oh, look, cool yacht. There's an app that's where is this yacht? And you can look up what boat is sitting in front of you and who owns it. This was some car magnate who sold every Lexus in New Jersey. Like, all right, great.
Wow.
If I had a yacht, I would name it Lil
also-
Yachty.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Hello,
I was also shot down when I guessed that the yacht belonged to Carmelo Anthony, and I was told, no, that's way more than Carmelo Anthony money. I was like, man, can you imagine having more than Carmelo Anthony money?
Man, sometimes I imagine having more than Addie Bates money, and that I get so excited, and then I realize it's just a dream.
I dream of Big Sin money.
This is only just a dream.
Big Sin money is where it's at.
Big Sin lives a good
on
life.
Her,
Big
on her
Sin
only
lives
pause.
a good life. Oh, she's got an only pause? I'm not sure you can say that.
Why not? It's only her pause.
I don't like that. I don't think I like that. Insinuating that your cat has a nefarious account for
No, I did not insinuate that.
exclusive photos. Yes, you said only pause.
What
else
is
does
only
that
her
mean?
pause? Yeah.
It's only her paws. I don't understand what you're getting
now we're
at.
insinuating feet, which has its own
No,
thing.
she does not have feet. They're paws.
Oh, it's not a barbecue at Drake's house. There's no feet involved.
There's no
Man,
feet
I wish I
involved,
saw
yeah.
that. That's crazy.
Open-toed shoes only.
Gross.
You wish you saw what? The invite to the foot barbecue?
Oh. I hate
There's
this
a
so
reason.
much.
There's a reason that Jones combined barbecue and foot massage.
Jones,
it only makes
barbecue,
sense.
Foot massage.
Exactly.
I've
So
not
you didn't
thought
hate
about
it
that
then,
in
did you?
Literally 10 years. Wow. Wow.
Literally. This is the Tiger conundrum. That's what you're giving me right now. You're giving me the Tiger conundrum, where yep, you hate it until you remember that it's Tiger Woods. Jones barbecue and foot massage, two completely separate things that you hate. But when Tiger gets involved, when Jones gets involved, now you love it. That's what's wrong with society.
Better come down here, get some of this shit. You like to eat. America loves to eat. So why not open up somewhere America can sit down, enjoy a meal, and get their feet rubbed? We'll fry anything.
Good job, Curtis.
Jones. That's one of the greatest commercials of all time. Jones barbecue and foot massage. Time for our biggest losers of the day. Addie, it's the Red Sox to start it off. You want to take this one?
Sorry. While you were throwing to that, I have Curtis in my ear going, me when I have to dump myself.
Bonk.
Thank you for dumping yourself, Curtis.
I forgot my diaper.
I'm sorry. So I hear half of Drake's he goes, Addie, do you want me when I have to dump myself? This one? I was like, what did he just say to me? So Drake, please, repita, por favor.
Yes, there is a bad word in that Jones barbecue and foot massage, so we had to hit the
It
dump
just happened to
button
bring it up
ensure
right then.
It did not go over the air, so Curtis technically did dump himself here as the person who played this. Addie, first biggest loser of the day, Boston Red Sox. Do you want to take this one? Baseball.
Absolutely. Here, let's start with this first, Curtis. This is what Craig Breslow had to say about Lord knows what.
So that kind of the idea of deploying our players in a way that maximizes positive outcomes by creating the most favorable matchups that we can is a term that I would call optimization, and I think that's synthesizing analytical information. It's synthesizing the real-time feedback that we would be getting from our players and our coaches who are interacting with each other every single day to ensure that we're doing that and making sure that we're not leaving wins on the table.
Didn't speed that up, by the way.
So usually, oh my gosh, sorry. So usually whenever, yes.
Can we replay that? Because I'm still trying to process what the hell he's
Curtis,
talking. Can you do that again, Curtis?
Cue it up again.
So that kind of the idea of deploying our players in a way that maximizes positive outcomes by creating the most favorable matchups that we can is a term that I would call optimization, and I think that's synthesizing analytical information. It's synthesizing the real-time feedback that we would be getting from our players and our coaches who are interacting with each other every single day to ensure that we're doing that and making sure that we're not leaving wins on the table.
Good answer. Good answer.
So sometimes when I was in college, I would write essays and stuff, and you know how it has to be like a certain word count, certain amount of pages. That was the last page, okay? My favorite was like when you say like this happened because of this, and you just change it to like this happened due to the facts. just add some extra words in there and the optimization. That was the worst
All right, team.
teams meeting I've ever had.
Let's sync up. First off, massive shout out to the infrastructure squad. Q1, load balancing. Didn't just hit our targets. We vertically integrated our entire response chain. 2026, we got a roadmap. We need frictionless velocity. Look, the current ecosystem is loud. AI slop saturation, federal portal regulations. It's shaking up the collegiate vertical, but our end users are experiencing cognitive debt. If we aren't optimizing every single micro interaction, we're just building technical debt with high interest environment. Come on, good answer.
That was an average interaction. Micro. Wow, I thought that was pretty average.
Micro interaction. What a stupid. Just we're word maxing at our press conferences now in Boston.
It's if
How about
Eminem
the
gave a
Dodgers?
speech.
That's exactly what it is. If Eminem songs were not spoken quickly and fluently, but with pauses. Dave Roberts responds to the Blue Jays' complaint about the amount of time Shohei Ohtani takes between innings.
Can you walk us through what happened in the first inning, where there was a little bit of miscommunication or conversation about the amount of time that Shohei is getting in between innings? I know we saw something like this during the World Series here, but it seemed like Springer was asking the umpire, like, how much time is he getting? He seemed a little bit frustrated. What was the dynamic there?
You know what? I think just talking about the World Series, obviously they were a little frustrated about, how long Shohei takes, in between innings. But if he's on the bases, there's got to be some grace, which I think the umpires are trying to give him. But yeah, I mean, if you're on the other side, you're trying to rush him as much as possible and treat him like any other pitcher. But the truth is that he's different, and so. But I understand their gripe.
Addy, I should be clear. Yes, he's taking a long time, but he's Shohei Ohtani. Like, come on, I mean, he's different, right? Everybody else can go fast, but this is Shohei Ohtani. Come on.
If this was any other person, if it was someone other than George Springer, people would take it seriously. But because it's George Springer, 2017, guess what? They're like, oh, no, he cares about the rules. No, other players have had gripes about this, by the way. And the main thing, so should catchers, when they have to put on their gear, take off their gear? Should we give them extra time to go on the field? Like, hey, guys, I know there's a pitch clock, but give him some extra time. No, we don't do that. I understand, yeah, he's batting, he's got a pitch and stuff like that, but it seems like he's the only one getting some special privilege. And this is not the first time we've had pitchers who hit and pitch. Oh my gosh, the National League, the damn National League for years. But now it's, he's special, guys. He's special. If he was playing for the Athletics and he had a 24 ERA, no, he's not getting special treatment. It's because his name is Shohei Ohtani and he plays for the Dodgers. That's it.
I miss when Tim Lincecum was hitting home runs. When there was a Tim Lincecum-sized human roaming the earth who was just smashing barrels. R.I.P. the National League, making the pitchers hit. Still one of the funniest things. What a strange era of sports. And by era, I mean the vast majority of Major League Baseball history.
I loved it.
Where John Schmaltz is up there just poking the bat out there. Addy Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Those are our biggest losers of the day. Coming up, Obituaries? Dianna Rousini's husband? Oh, no. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Trust that love me for the man I've become, not the man that I was. And I wanna have friends that let me be all alone when being alone space. Feel natural and safe in a volatile place. And I wanna grow old without the pain. Give my body back to the earth and not complain. Well, you understand when I am too old of a man. Will you forget when we have paid our debt? Who did we borrow from? Who did we borrow from? Okay, part two, now clear the house. The party's over, take the shouting and the people get out. I have some business and a promise that I have to hold to. I do not care what you assume or what the people tell you. Well, you understand when I am too old of a man. Will you forget when we have paid our debt? Who did we borrow from? Who did we borrow from? Oh, wanna have pride like my mother has, and not like the kind in the Bible that turns you back. I wanna have friends that I can trust, that love me for the man I become, not the man that I was. She never mentions the word addiction in certain company. Yes, she'll tell you she's an orphan after you meet her family.
It is the Drake Cole Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Who does she talk to? Oh. Probably keeps cross around her neck. That hair, not in a weird way, from a little boy. Cross, though, hadn't met that guy yet. Good morning, Addie Bates. Are you familiar? You ball knower in this category?
With the Black Crowes? Yes.
Yeah.
Shake Your Moneymaker, one of the greatest debut albums of all time.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Stole the words right out of my mouth. Is it fun to you? You know what? This is actually a really good segue into it, into our obituaries today. Before we actually jump into it, though, and get the music. Where do you lie on the fact that this Cade Cunningham season, as good as it was, and him back from the collapsed lung, just won't exist in the annals of NBA history, and that for the rest of time, we're like, oh yeah, remember that one time Cade Cunningham didn't win any awards? Thoughts on the way we're approaching this in the National Basketball Association?
This is the reason why some people are arguing that baseball has overtaken basketball as the second most popular sport in this country. Why MLB has overtaken NBA because of these stupid rules and these nuances that just, they're not going to matter even, I bet you, in 2 years. Not even down the line. Not even in like 10. But 2 years from now, people are going to be like, what? Okay, cool. That's really cool. It's just no one cares about these things because of how the NBA's set up. So that's my 2 cents on even in 2 years. I doubt people are going to be talking about this year that Cade Cunningham had.
The MLB in 2025 World Series averaged 15.7 million viewers per game. The NBA Finals was 10.27 million viewers per game. So if you're doing the math at home, 2/3 of the audience, which is a pretty stark difference. Watch the NBA Finals versus the World Series. Oh, by the way, I don't have this year's numbers, but typically the college basketball national championship averages somewhere between 18 and 22 million viewers. The final game of March Madness, about 20 million viewers. The NBA, half of that. This goes back to a conversation of, if you are AJ DeBonsa, why not stay in college? It doesn't have to be at BYU, but you're going to get more TV time at Kentucky, at Duke, hell, at BYU than you would for the Sacramento Kings. There's no reason. Bad answer. Like, don't go to the draft. What would you go to the draft for? What would you go to the NBA for? There are 5 players we talk about. We rotate those players like underwear. Oh, today it's Wembanyama. Most days, you know who's not one of those 5 players? Cade damn Cunningham. Like, he doesn't even get that much talk. Victor Wembanyama, Luka Doncic, every now and then, old man LeBron James. Like, the NBA, such less publicity now than college basketball. No, you don't. Yes, you do. I'm looking at the numbers right here. Half the amount of people watch the NBA Finals than watch the Finals in March Madness. That is bad. And it's time for our obituary. Obituary number 1 today. The Sacramento Kings and their intentional foul. This has become a pretty big conversation of contention today, the way the Kings are handling this tank thing and the idea that they are tanking. We have Carl on the line. Carl, you're on the Drake Toll Show. What do you got on the Sacramento Kings?
Well, I'm thinking that there's a way that we're already saving baseball with shaming the umpires. I think once an NBA team is officially eliminated from the playoffs, if we reward them with point differential, so we encourage them to score more points and play better defense, and they get rewarded more ping pong balls in the lottery based on their excellent performance on offense in defense instead of just leaving it up to record. I think that's something that'll, I mean, do the math. I think that works. I wanted your opinion. And I wanted to end this by shouting out the Flock of Seagulls from 1982 in my favorite song. And I ran so far away. And I ran like Melania. She's my little quarter pounder with cheese. She cleans my bathroom. She's beautiful, but I don't like her. She's got a terrible face, and she unclogs my pipes. But Donald John loves her too. Go Capitals and Melania, I love you. I ran so far away. Go NBA. You know, I owned the NBA one time for 14 minutes, and then I sold it for $3 million at a profit, and I bought a car. It didn't work. It was terrible, but it was German. I loved it. Thank you, Trey.
Yeah, thanks, Carl.
Good answer.
Man,
Good
you
answer.
kept that call going there.
It
That
came
was,
in so fast and so hard.
Was Carl?
Duran?
Had it there.
What?
A Flock of Seagulls, the band. A Flock of Seagulls, I ran.
Ran so far away.
Open this straight.
You know, this is a big topic a couple months ago, was the Kings and the NBA and tanking, and whether or not it was a true issue or something you were told it's an issue, so you think it's an issue. And the Kings had they lost by 5 a couple nights ago, Monday, Tuesday to the Warriors, and 3:15 remaining. Kings were ahead. Uh-oh, bad. And then Doug McDermott intentionally fouled Seth Curry. Just total, we might win. Foul him. Bad, which helps the Warriors, I guess. They get to do the play-in. Hooray!
NBA is looking into their strategy, that Kings strategy. They're looking into it to see, like, hey, this is a little fishy here.
Yeah, coach yelling, foul him, we're going to win. Foul him, we can't win. Podium post-game, we did not foul on purpose. We are trying to win every game. Yeah, whatever. Massive mental mistake, they call it, a tactical error. Also dead today, maybe, Mike Vrabel and Dianna Rousini's marriages? Dianna Rousini already doesn't seem to be a very big fan of her husband, which we will find out about very soon. And Robert Little tweets, now that I think about it, it does seem odd at a random Arizona resort anyone would care about Mike Vrabel enough to take photos of him at long distance. Because people are saying it seems like a private detective move. Like Vrabel and Dianna are famous, but not famous to be recognized like this. Addie, your thoughts on this maybe being an inside job?
That's just, it's too. I was talking with my trivia team last night. By the way, we got second. Got to say that. Shout out our team. But it's not like this is Kim Kardashian. It's not like this is Leonardo DiCaprio where you have paparazzi following you nonstop. Like, I get it, it's Mike Vrabel. But, like, I highly doubt that Dianna Russini has paparazzi following her wherever she goes. And I highly doubt Mike Vrabel has the same. Especially at a luxurious resort meant for couples. That's what becomes a little fishy to me. And it wasn't even TMZ that did that. I mean, it was Page 6, but usually with this kind of stuff, if it's paparazzi, the first one's going to be TMZ.
Paparazzi, the band, is following Dianna Rousini?
Paparazzi, how do you say it? Paparazzi?
Paparazzi.
Okay, we said the same thing.
Yeah. I said the band. There's a band called, it's fine. You'll hear them one day. Have I seen them live?
Dog.
Hold on.
Dog, no. I feel like you just saw a squirrel and you went that way.
Oh, yes. Paparazzi and the Photons is the band. Paparazzi and the Photons. I for a second, I remembered they're not a popular band and only I know them. My bad. Hand up. That's on me.
Yeah, guys. He knows so much music. Y'all don't know it. Y'all don't know it.
Yeah, 7,000 monthly listeners. Number one song is called It's Okay If You Poop and or Pee Your Pants. Paparazzi and the Photons.
Well, Drake?
It is okay. Things happen sometimes. Those are our biggest losers of the day. Time for our Nope. Those are our obituaries. What am I doing? It's time for the Quickie top 5 headlines in all of sports. There are no headlines today, so best of luck, Addie.
Wow. Okay, here's your first one. OKC locks up number 1 seed, joins elite company.
What's the second one going to be, huh? Bryson bringing 3D printed 5-iron to Masters?
I love how you know where I get these from every time.
I've always known. Oklahoma City, I said at the top of the show, maybe a month ago, I implored our listeners to monitor the situation and whether or not the San Antonio Spurs could catch OKC. Could be a very fun race. Let's all watch it together. And then maybe if Victor Wembanyama and company can catch OKC, Wembanyama wins the MVP. In the end, the Spurs, albeit very good, in that entire month stretch, their only losses came against the Nuggets, on the road against the Knicks. Lost the Nuggets twice in that space. Yeah, lost the Nuggets twice. Took care of business other than that. They've been elite the last 2 months, but OKC has just been better. Their only loss on the road against the Celtics. Outside of that, it's just been a win fest for OKC. And then they lock up the West. I think SGA locks up the MVP, and I'm fine with that. He deserves it. Give the man his music.
Reynaldo Lopez's suspension reduced by MLB after Angels-Braves brawl with Jorge Soler on video.
Why did they reduce the suspension? I feel like everyone involved here got their punches in.
Here's my take. If your suspension is reduced and you don't miss a start, then you really weren't suspended in the first place.
Yeah.
Especially since he hit Soler in the head with a baseball. Not a fist, a baseball.
Multiple times, too. He went in 2 or 3 times before he released the ball, just hitting him with the ball. Like baseball teabagging him with his hand.
Oh, God.
I was just going to say that. Not kidding.
Curtis was just about to say it. It's a guy. That's what guys are thinking about.
Touch yourself.
Yeah, the brawl itself was awesome from a viewership standpoint. In hockey, there are 6 brawls a night. No one cares. We don't ever watch the highlights. Baseball, there's 1 brawl every 6 weeks, and we play it ad nauseum, talk about it constantly. It is, I don't know. Again, as the guy who went on a rant earlier in the show about Tiger Woods and how he's a bad role model and it's probably better he's not at the Masters to distract us, it probably sounds weird that I'm promoting physical violence, but man, it's fun. I really like when those guys fight. But yeah, I mean, even better when you reduce the sentencing for them. Set them free. 4 more years.
Good Wow. Okay, here's your third headline. Shortstop Connor Griffin, Pirates agree to a $140 million deal.
140?
Yep.
Oh. 4 more years of Jorge Soler, by the way. Want to be very clear on that one. That's a lot of money.
Wow.
More baseball. Good answer.
Wow.
I would take that amount of money. They are the Pirates. They're winning baseball games, by the way. That's maybe takeaway number 1 for the Pittsburgh Pirates is they're winning. And talked about it yesterday for a bit. He's back. He once again is Paul Skeens. Now, the Pirates did lose yesterday, but still have a winning record, 7-5 overall. Lost to the Dads, 8-2. Padres win it. They're now up to 6-6. But man, if there's one story we have, with one headline, it's not a headline, but it's a headline in my brain. It's the 4-9 Seattle Mariners. Don't they know that every game in April matters the exact same as the games in September? Don't they know that, Addie? I don't think they know that.
I don't know. Maybe it's like some difference in like West Coast time. Maybe you got lost in translation. The big frauds. That's all I can say. By the way, the Pirates thing with Connor Griffin, that's pretty crazy because it's a lucrative deal. This is a week after his MLB debut. The soonest, or I guess the quickest, like somebody got a deal like this in their rookie season was Roman Anthony 2 months after, and it was a long deal. So the fact that Connor Griffin 1 week into his debut got this deal is substantial in my opinion. So that's
what did Frenchie's deal look like when he was tearing it up? Rookie of the year with the Braves.
Probably off the top of my head.
Yeah, sorry, you wouldn't know what. No human being should know what Frenchie's deal was with the Braves after that Rookie of the Year season. But he was the greatest player on earth for a month. He had one of the greatest months in MLB history, and then the rest of his career was just, funny guy. He was never a star. He was just, oh, look, funny.
Here's your
I like
fourth
Frenchie.
headline. Oh, no, yeah, you can keep going. You're good. My turn. Kirk Cousins, I shouldn't play if not Raiders' best quarterback.
Pretty awesome. This is part of my minutes today. Most people be like, no, I'm the guy. I'm the dog. I want to compete. I want to be at the top. I want to lead this team. I want to lead this franchise. I want to be a leader they look to. Kirk Cousins are like, I'm good. I'm good. If I'm not the best answer, that's fine. I'll just be over here. Bye, guys. Have fun. Thank you, Kurt, for your incredible honesty. Fernando Mendoza will start game 1 for the Raiders.
You like that?
That's a minute. Good answer.
Here's your final headline. McDavid nets hat trick. 5-point night for Oilers.
Yeah. You would like that, wouldn't you? The Edmonton Oilers, not to be confused with the Houston Oilers, winning last night. 5-2 over the Sharks on the road, too, by the way. 40-29-10, racking up them points. NHL comes to a close in a week, by the way. If you're going to follow these races, follow them quickly. The NBA and the NHL both headed toward their postseasons next weekend very fast, rapidly. Rapidamente. Awesome. 5-3? No, 5-2, even worse than that. And no one scored in the third period.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. That was the Quickie. Coming up, Dianna Rousini's top 5 all-time quotes about her husband. Not even kidding. Just top 5 Dianna Rousini quotes that are really weird about her husband. This is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Imagine a
in constant sorrow through his day. I am the man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my day. I bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised. For 6 long years I've been in trouble. No pleasure here on earth I find. For in this world I'm bound to ramble. I had no friends to help me now. He has no friends to help me now. It's fare thee well, my old true lover. I never expect to see you again. For I'm bound to ride that northern railroad. Perhaps I'll die upon that train. Perhaps you'll die upon this train. You can bury me in Sunny Valley for many years where I may lay. Then and you may learn meet you on God's golden shore. He'll meet you on God's golden shore. I remember the 35 sweet goodbyes when you put me on the Wolverine up to Annandale.
It is the Drake Toll Show.
It was still September.
Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Sirius XM, your local radio station. Hell, we even got a YouTube channel now. You have to in radio nowadays. They make you do that. I think it's stupid that radio, it can't be radio anymore. We're mass communicating now, man. The video element's alive and well. When radio was radio, that was the best. Nowadays, you develop, you improvise, you adapt, you overcome. And you have a YouTube channel. We're live on Twitter, too. Yeah. Donald Fagen, Yacht Rock, my friends at Steely Dan.
I'm so proud of you.
You're proud of me for knowing Donald Fagen? I love Donald Fagen.
I am proud of you.
You and I are friends.
Actually, fun fact, I need to tell the listeners this. So last Friday, after work, I went to an amusement park, right? And here I am with my little cousin trying to figure out how to work these Fast Pass. I get a call from Drake. And I didn't answer it because I didn't have my phone.
You didn't answer. Bad answer.
Sorry. But here it is. I have the transcript. It says, hey, what was the Donald Fagen Yacht Rock song from the other day? Steely Dan song that we played the other day. That's all it said.
Which reminds me a lot of the only sentence produced by a chimpanzee. Give orange me. Eat orange me. Eat orange, give me. Eat orange, give me you. Which is pretty much the equivalent of what I was typing out. I Siri'd that from the Kroger parking lot, by the way. I had Siri. Siri, text Addie Bates, which I often do. Text Addie Bates, give me orange, me, eat orange, give me you.
Oh, it's so good.
Nim Chimpsky, by the way, was the name of the chimp. Nim Chimpsky.
And we have our own version. That's Drake's He Told.
Yep. That time when Nim Chimpsky wrote the longest sentence by an animal.
What's the Steely Dan
Kiss me on me. I think Nim Chimpsky did it via sign language too, which is crazy. Nim Chimpsky, Drake Toll, Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky. Oh, that is a great way to start our 720. It's time. I know I'm very anti Mount Rushmore. Okay, time for the Mount Rushmore top 5 hockey goalies of the 2010s. I think those are stupid and boring and lazy. Don't do that. Don't give me Mount Rushmores in the middle of April when stuff's going on. So I'm not. I'm giving you a top 5. Instead of a Mount Rushmore, which is the top 4, here are the top 5 weirdest things Dianna Rousini has said publicly. Do we have a bed for this, Curtis? Can we get like a little bed? Can you just throw something? It feels like we deserve one. Number 5, Dianna Rousini tweets. It's the only one that doesn't have audio. The rest of these have audio. You, great minds think alike. You and Laura Jimenez.
Maybe
Dianna
Vrabel
Rousini
has mucha
tweets.
novia. You don't know.
She says, just asked my husband to make pasta and lobster for Mother's Day. His response was, I'm not on your roster. Guess that's a no. May 13th of 2023. Thank you, Dianna. Your husband won't cook for you. This all coming with the context, by the way, that her and Mike Vrabel were seen sharing a spicy Sedona getaway, a siesta in Sedona, if you will. Sedona Gate. They were in the hot tub together in their swimmies, which is what you do in the hot tub. I get that. But NFL insider, senior reporter, and a head coach, and that same senior reporter is tweeting out that her husband is not on her roster. Uh-oh. Well, it gets worse. That was just number 5, folks. Here comes number 4. Dianna Rousini is married to an average person.
Dianna, we want to give you one more chance to address this. It happened earlier in our program today. For those of you who weren't watching, Dianna Rousini said this.
And I think we all do weird things when we're in love, and we overshare and overpost. And look, he's married. He's getting married to a beautiful actress. I'm married to someone average. I don't post a lot about him. If I was married to someone beautiful, I'd overpost too.
Now, this doesn't seem nice. We have put together photos of Diana's husband here for everyone to see so you can make some amends on national television.
We're average together. And you know what the worst part is? He sent me a text during that segment, not watching because he actually works for a living. And he said, good luck today. Be great on Get Up. So the guy's got a heart of gold, and here I am on national TV killing him. Look, we're average together, but he makes me above average because he married me. So I am so sorry. I need to really stop killing my husband on television. I'm going to be divorced by Christmas.
I think for all of us, it was the best moment on the show today. And I wanted to make sure that at least we got that so we could sort of, the last thing in the world we want to do is pry couples apart on this program. We're all about bringing people together.
Dianna Rousini said somewhere on the end of that, I need to stop dogging my husband. I'll be divorced by Christmas. Don't worry, Dianna. You continue to dog your husband. What'd you get on that one, Addie?
My significant other ever went on TV. If my boyfriend, if I had one, or my husband ever went on TV and said, you know, I'm dating someone average, oh my gosh, he'd be dead. He'd be dead.
What if instead of apologizing and saving face and saying like, "Oh no, I was kidding," what if saying I wasn't kidding?
No,
We're
yeah,
both
she's like,
average.
we're both average. I'm like, girl, you're an ass.
Not only am I doubling down, he's really, really average, but so am I. So it works. Like
We
that's
keeping
not.
the bulk right now. We ass.
That's not gonna make him feel any better. It's the number 4 worst thing Dianna Rousini has ever said publicly about her husband. How about number 3? Dianna does not like sports rivalries in her household.
And my husband said 2 words to me. He's an Eagles fan. And I'm like, this can't be a thing. Like, I don't want to be the household that is shaped by the result of a football game. Like, A, grow up. B, you're a father. I don't want our children having a culture where mommy and daddy's tone in this house is based on the result of the Philadelphia Eagles. Who cares? It's so stupid.
So, Addie, here's what I'm hearing. On the number 3 worst thing Dianna Rousini said about her husband, she really doesn't want her kids hearing her husband in the other room, fly, Eagles, fly. But she's completely cool with her kids seeing pictures of Dianna Rousini with interlocked hands in spicy Sedona after an hour-long breakfast with Mike Vrabel.
Well, Drake, 2 different things here. Talking about Eagles, getting excited about the Eagles. I mean, to be fair, I'd be disappointed if my husband was an Eagles fan. It's a little bit of an embarrassment, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think he gives her the tush push?
Wow, Curtis. But you know what? They're on vacation. They were interlocking hands because that's what reporters do as sources. They get really close. They interlock hands. But having sports rivalries in the house, no, that's too much. Okay.
It's a no from me, dog.
My kids cannot see that. No kids around the sports rivalries. Yes, my kids can see me hug Mike Vrabel and sit in the hot tub with him, but he better not. My husband better not bring up the damn Eagles. Now the number 2. This is great. The number 2 worst thing Dianna Rousini has said about just love and life in general.
We appreciate that you came on season 1 when we were just this little baby that nobody was listening and watching. And now every single Minnesota Vikings blog listens to every episode.
I'm sure they do.
And they love me.
Thanks for coming out and spending some time with us.
And they love me.
Thanks for coming
Awkward
out.
segue.
They love me. Yeah, thanks for being here, I guess. Another kind of out of touch, out of feel thing that Dianna Rousini has said or done publicly, which seems to be a common trend. But it's time. We've counted all the way down for the number 1 weirdest Dianna Rousini moment publicly. Her thoughts on weddings.
I remember thinking, like, because I think when men propose, that's their wedding day. Like, that's when you guys are all in. It's not really all in for us yet. I think for women, the actual wedding day is the moment. So, I mean, Kev was all down for it. I was the one that was very skeptical. I was like, oh, I don't know. And at the time, I was working at ESPN, and I remember I was still working. And so the night before my wedding, I'm making calls, and I had a phone interview set up with Jimmy Garoppolo. And I remember Jimmy was great. He made like a funny joke, like, hey, it's night before your wedding. You sure you want to do this? And I'm thinking, like, of all the people in my life that I'm going to talk to the night before my wedding, the one guy my dad wanted me to, or my mom wanted me to marry was Jimmy Garoppolo. And he's calling me. Like, this is a sign. I of course, did not marry Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think Kevin.
I did not marry Jimmy Garoppolo. She just kind of tear down the right side of her face. What a weird thing to say about Jimmy Garoppolo the night before your wedding.
Didn't do enough adult films.
Yeah, the idea that she's talking to Jimmy Garoppolo the night before her wedding is fine, but telling that story publicly when you don't have to, isn't that kind of a weird thing to do? Yeah, Dianna Rousini did that, and also said how skeptical she was of her own marriage surrounding the wedding day. She's been married since 2021, 22, with 2 kids. And you know what? In case the top 5 wasn't good enough, we have an honorable mention. You should all, as a society, we should all consider Dianna Rousini a MILF.
And my husband said 2 words to me. He's an Eagles fan. And I'm like...
Dianna, what's up? How are you?
What's up, guys? I told your producer that I want to be introduced now. I don't want to be insider. I don't want to be Scoop City podcast host. I just want to be MILF. Just straight up MILF. That's what I'm going for.
What the hell?
That is such a...
I'm just trying. I am trying out here. It is hard in the streets, guys, to keep up. But
if you start calling yourself MILF, you're going to get a lot of followers.
Hard out there in the streets.
Addie, just a note here, if we ever bring a guest on, and hey, please welcome Greg Jennings of the Be Yourself podcast, and Big G comes on and is like, no, call me Dilf. We
Daddy is fine.
might not be having them on again.
All of a sudden, the call drops. Wow, bad service. Sorry. Dang.
In the wake of Sedona Gate, Dianna Rousini, Mike Vrabel on a spicy vacation together in Sedona, where there are other people, I promise. Are the other people in the room with us right now? Are the 6 other guests in the room with us right now? That situation's made even more awkward and weird by the top 5 and honorable mention strangest things that Dianna Rousini has said publicly. Our thoughts and prayers are with her family, her husband, her children, and Mike Vrabel. Coming up, the NCAA is going to discuss a 5-year eligibility proposal, reports say. What does it do to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? What does it do to pregnant people? And what does it do to the military? You're going to want to find out. Sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today at progressivecommercial.com. Coming up on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app, this is the Drake Toll Show.
Westwood One!
you've proved so many times that it ain't true. And I can't find one good reason for staying. Maybe my leaving would be the best for you. But these rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth. And they let me hold on to the good times, good lines, the ones I used to hear when I held you. And they keep me from feeling so cheated, defeated, when reflections in your eyes show me a fool. These rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth. So I'll just keep on hoping, believing that maybe by counting the many times I've tried, you'll believe me when I say I love you, and I'll lay these rose-colored glasses aside. These rose-colored glasses that I'm looking through show only the beauty, 'cause they hide all the truth.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Time every single day. Did you know? Drake Toll with you, Savannah Bananas organization, Locked On Big 12, that Matthew Perry is Keith Morrison's stepson? Did you know this? Was this common knowledge?
Yep.
This is news to me. First time. You're telling me this for the first time. Hearing now for the first time on ABC's Good Morning America that the, quote, ketamine queen has been sentenced in Matthew Perry's death. You're the defense attorney? Like, oh, yeah, what's the case today, boss? What do you got for me over there, boss? Really excited. First day in court. Can't wait to be a defense attorney. Surely this will be an easy one. You have to defend this woman against the death of Matthew Perry. It should be easy, boss. What's her name? The ketamine queen.
Ketamine queen.
Never mind, boss. Can I possibly get a different? Can I get a different case, please? It's like the guy. It's the 4-time amputee. He wasn't a quadriplegic. He was he had all 4 limbs were amputated. Cornhole champion who shot and killed a man allegedly. Like easiest day in the world. Hey, boss. I love the case of the guy with no arms and legs where he shoots and kills the guy. That's pretty easy defense right there, Your Honor. Doesn't have any arms or legs. He couldn't have shot him. We're good. And the video surfaces of the guy just rattling off an automatic rifle with no arms and legs. It's just him somehow still can pull the trigger.
Brick, you killed a guy with a trident. Brick, I've been meaning to tell you this. You might want to lay low for a while because you're probably wanted for murder.
These should be the easiest defense in the world. It'd be so hard to prove that any woman poisoned Matthew Perry with ketamine. Except for the ketamine queen. That's going to be tough. That's going to be a really tough one to convince. Men and women of the jury, I assure you my client is innocent. It's a silly nickname they gave her in high school. She's got the calendars. She can back it up. She can tell you where she was. Your Honor, I can assure you my client has no arms and legs. He could not have shot him. What's this video? Damn it. Shoot. Pun intended.
He did.
He did. He absolutely did. That's the beauty of having the quad box today. The old ketamine queen. Not getting away with it this time, huh? No sirree.
That's Queen Slay.
Amen. Curtis Poindexter's back today on the Drake Toll Show. Addie Bates producing. And it is time to talk a little, or a lot, NCAA, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, pregnant people, and the military. Now, what do all those things have in common? Because typically in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you're not pregnant before marriage, right? So you must be married. Well, not necessarily, not in this case with the NCAA. And to serve in the military, I mean, you would think that you're doing that out of high school or after college. Well, not in this case either. I mean, we have Army and Navy and people who are committing themselves to our country. So what do all those things have in common? Well, the NCAA, thanks to the President of the United States, is now being effectively forced. April 3rd, there was an executive order that came down from President Trump, and we talked about it on the show yesterday, that was mostly to save college sports in a way of, after you're 19 years old, only giving you 5 years of eligibility in college, and a piece that you have 5 years to play 5 years or something like that. You have 4 years of eligibility. They're trying to figure out these eligibility rules because some kids are playing a 9th year of college athletics, and that shouldn't be a thing. So the 5-year eligibility proposal says, hey, we'll give you 5 years. Go play your 5 years, but get it done in those 5 years. And then pregnant people raised their hands. And the pregnant people, they said, wait a minute. What about us? Because if we get pregnant, we shouldn't be penalized for being pregnant. The NCAA shouldn't say, oh, you're going to lose a year of eligibility. You're not going to be able to play an extra season of college athletics because you got pregnant. Okay, guess we make an exception. Well, yeah, you make an exception so that the pregnant people can be pregnant and not lose a year of eligibility. It doesn't happen that often, but sometimes people have babies. And then you in the corner with the buzz cut. What do you want? Yes, hello, sir. I'm in the military. I have to go to war. We're at literal war right now. What do I do? Well, damn it. Thought this was foolproof. I thought I could do the 5 years thing, 5 years of eligibility, 4 years, red shirt. I don't know. I thought I could just put a timeline or timetable on this, and it would work. But that lady in the front row is pregnant. She wants to run track. The dude with the buzz cut in the back, he's a Marine. He's in Iran right now flying a drone. And then, wait a second. You in the starched white shirt with a tie on and a name tag. Who are you? Hello, sir. Elder Smith. All right, Elder. Status report. Well, sir, I am serving a 2-year mission at the age of 20, but don't want to lose eligibility, don't want to lose 2 years of my college playing days because I'm serving a mission in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So now, a pregnant lady, a Marine, and a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints walk into a bar. The Mormon guy asks for a chocolate milk. You know what? The pregnant lady does too.
What about
actually.
Yoo-hoo?
The Marine's the Marine's the only one drinking, or a Yoo-hoo. Yes, specifically in a can. Those 3 people become the exception in what the NCAA is now pushing for this eligibility proposal. There's a panel scheduled. What's weird to me, and I don't understand this, and no one can explain this to me. Not Grok, and I ask Grok a lot of things. I can't get ChatGPT, Gemini. Addie Bates knows most things. She doesn't know this. No one can tell me how the president gave an executive. Remember when he gave the executive order for the Gulf of Mexico to become Gulf of America? And immediately Google Maps changed it, Apple Maps changed it. And now if you turn the news on, by rule, based on the AP and the FCC, you have to call it the Gulf of America. I don't know if we're governed by that. But, like, if you ask the rule book, because the president made an executive order, people are calling it that. They have to call it that. I personally, Gulf of Mexico guy, I don't care that much. It's not that deep to me. I've always called it the Gulf of Mexico. It's not something I have to tangibly, consciously change. That's just how I feel about it. And also, if that's something you're spending time being just up in arms about, thinking about all the time, I can't really help you. But that executive order, what it did, whether you agree or disagree with it, it's like, well, shoot. Yeah, I guess the president can do executive orders. He can sit at the desk and sign a bunch of stuff. And when he signs the thing, like by rule in the little rule book, it says that thing now. The president did that. So no one can answer me when I ask, why is this different? Why does the president write an executive order that has 5-year eligibility plan, that regulates NIL more so, that only allows one transfer without penalty, and after that you have to sit out a year no matter what? Can someone tell me how the president gives that executive order that actually seems helpful, that will make a difference, that will change my life in the way that I view college athletics, and a big piece of my life viewing college athletics? Can someone tell me why that doesn't count? How does the president makes an executive order that says that the name of the Gulf has changed, and we must adhere to that. But when he makes an executive order that has like a tangible effect on what I view in college sports, what I talk about at my job every day, what you watch, that doesn't apply? That executive order means, like, why does the headline read from 6 days ago? President of the United States of America signs executive order to save college athletics. Then 5 days later, the headline reads this: NCAA to discuss 5-year eligibility proposal, reports say. What do you mean discuss? What discussion will there be? What do we have to talk about? There's the balance of powers, the pendulum, the 3 branches, all that. Sure, but when an executive order is signed like this, like what? Is the NCAA overruling it? How does that work? Can Mark Baker, the president of the NCAA, overrule the president of the United States? I mean, sometimes could come in handy. But this is one where it feels like we're finally getting reprieve in college sports when it's just been this downtrodden, overbearing, punch you in the face, this thing sucks, this product's getting worse, it's not fun for anybody, and now, the one time there's hope and a light at the end of the tunnel, I'm finding out the NCAA is saying no to this executive order. They're discussing the executive order. I don't know. We get to. No one told me. My life would have so much more autonomy. My free will would be activated had you told me that the president, no matter who the president is, could make an executive order, and I don't have to agree with it. I can discuss the 5-year eligibility proposal. What do you mean proposal? Executive order. It's like the one time, man. It is the one time where I've thought, wow, here's a politician who does a thing that I think is good, that represents me. I don't usually feel that way. It usually feels like politicians just are these distant creatures who are built to make you sad and mad and upset, to divide us. It usually is what they're doing, is dividing us. And the one time that a politician says, hey, what if we just made college sports normal? The one time we don't do a divisive thing. The one time that we can all come together and be like, you know what? Yeah, that sounds pretty agreeable, actually. The NCAA says, nope, we'll talk about it. What do you mean talk about it? I didn't know we get to talk about executive orders. This changes a lot of things for me. Pollen season is here. But a dirty car doesn't have to be. Wash it away at Tidal Wave Auto Spa for a quick wash and that clean car happy feeling. Find a location at TidalWaveAutoSpa.com. TidalWaveAutoSpa.com. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. When we return, time for our idiot of the day. Jazz Chisholm? Yeah. This is Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
That ball had a family.
touch yourself.
Roll up to the club in my 1964 caddy straight, ready to stunt. At 1:45, just a looking for fun. I said a twist for me, baby, hit a rip for me, baby. Take another shot, get lit for me, baby. Ooh-wee. It's 1:45. What you wanna do? Cocaine, country dancing to you.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports. The Westwood One Sports app. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Good morning. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. 2 hours down. They were a good 2 hours. We should replay the first hour for the next hour. Can we do that? Permission?
Nope.
Dang it. What are the odds, though, that the same audience is here? Daily Rose somewhere in there, right?
Daily Row was up all night, apparently caulking his house.
Touch yourself.
Wow. Interesting. What a thing to be up all night doing. I don't mind that. Probably listening to Josh and Linnell last night, overnight. Westwood One Sports Night.
So we have the rest of the crew. We have Pine. We have Drunkle. We have West Coast. We even have Andrew.
Drunkle
we have
Sam.
Cap. Yeah, we have Drunkle Sam. We have
Andrew's here today?
E1F. Yeah.
Okay.
Drunkle's always here.
All the local characters. That's the cool part of having a YouTube. I shouldn't be so mean to radio transitioning toward YouTube, because now we have a community of people who I get to see their comments, hang out with them every day. And they all it's you can text the show whenever you want to. You can call the show, 310-840-4910. One of Addie's friends called the show earlier, 310-840-4910. Or you can just be involved in the chat and live fan feedback this thing. But it's not even live fan feedback. It's live family feedback.
Fans! I'm like, we're not going to call them that. They're the homies. Those are the boys.
It's live family feedback. It's what we have. That's the beauty of radio in 2026, the year of our Lord. Do you know what else is beautiful?
In the eyes of Mike Vrabel, Dianna Rousini.
That's exactly where I was going. You landed the plane.
Not her husband, though.
Here is, before we get into our idiots of the day, because obviously Vrabel and Rousini could probably be included in that, we could just jump right into Vrabel and Rousini. Here's the craziest, I need your thoughts on this. Addie, you sent it to me. The craziest tweet that I've seen in relation to this is from Dan Dockich, which not a wild thing that Dan Dockich tweets something a little bit insane. Dan says yesterday, live show tonight. It's not a safe space. This show is for immature audiences only that do not give an S word about your feelings, spelled it Y-I-U-R, or political correctness. So Dan has been, I think he's with Outkick now. His last couple of years, he's been very open about being closed. his thoughts are staunch, and he quote tweets himself, and like unprompted. No one asked him to do this. Quote tweets himself and says, "Not a human alive throws away their marriage for Dianna Rousini. If you've ever been around her in person, not one." Addie, thoughts on Your Honor? My client could not have done this. Not a human being alive would sleep with that woman. This is a very interesting defense of Mike Vrabel and Dianna Rousini.
So is it because of her looks, her personality? Is it because of her history with Sean McVay? We haven't even talked about that.
Is she going on Sedona dates with Sean McVay too?
So this was a thing
I'm going to call Mike Vrabel right now and tell him. He's going to be very upset if she is.
Says, my favorite Sean McVay story is that one time 2 reporters got into a drunken fist fight outside a chain restaurant at then Redskins training camp because McVay was hooking up with both of them and neither knew it. An update, apparently it was Britt McHenry and Dianna Rousini. Allegedly.
Okay, so alleged, thank you. Good answer, good answer.
I'll text him and ask him right now.
Good answer. Yeah, I was just texting Mike Vrabel to let him know this will crush him. if I know Mike, if I know anything about Mike, this is going to make him very upset if he finds this out. If this was Dianna Russini and Sean McVay, we're going to have a serious problem.
You telling me he's not special?
Hairy. It's crazy to me that Dan Dockich was like, no one would. Of course, Mike Vrabel's not banging Dianna Russini. She's ugly. Dan, what? What a random tweet. It's like, you guys should all stop. Not even. Obviously, they're not having intercourse.
Oh God.
She's a weird person. Like, all right, thanks, Dan.
And
I was wondering yesterday all day long. I wonder what Dan Dockich thinks about this, and now I know. Now we've landed the plane with Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel. Time for our idiots of the day.
Idiot of the day.
That's baseball, Susan. Jazz Chisholm, idiot of the day. Yankees trailing 3-2 against the A's in the bottom of the eighth. This one comes from a couple nights ago. And the SiriusXM app. Susan Waldman gives you the following on Jazz Chisholm.
Jazz is challenging.
Jacob Wilson looked at that and it's like, I had this, and then no, I don't.
New York is out of challenges.
Okay, Jazz is not that good at this.
People are saying that
Jazz
about me
is
too.
challenging. Call is upheld. Jazz is just not that good at this. Susan just put it like it is. Jazz is just not good at this. Addie, another legendary moment from Big Susan.
It's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah, I love it. You can listen to that on MLB Network or in MLB Network Radio, something like that. By the way, I have to say this. Did you know that Curtis is working for MLB Network Radio on Saturday?
What? How'd you pull that off, Big Kurt? Congratulations, man.
I got a text saying, hey, can you do this? I was like, yeah.
It's actually because I'm not available, so they needed to reach out and find fill-ins.
At what point do I also get to work for MLB Network Radio? Because I'm the only one now on the show who is not. Also, half my friends have. I didn't know, but MLB Network is a gateway drug. Like, if you're in the industry and you have any barometer of success, a la Addie Bates and Curtis Poindexter, who both are successful, then you probably at some point in time work for MLB Network Radio or the network in some capacity. Almost everyone I work with in the Bananas office, MLB Network. Pipeline, dog.
Or Mad
They all
Dog
come
Sports
from
Radio
Syracuse,
for some reason.
Dudes rock.
Mad Dog Sports Radio. Idiot of the day, Diego Pavia. Again, this is kind of one of those perennial ones. We could throw him, Dan Orlovsky. You know what? Dianna Russini, put her in there at this point. Diego Pavia, was speaking to John Gruden, who you could also, he did drop the N-word that one time in an email. I keep telling people, don't drop the N-word in an email. You don't
Pepper's
remember this?
Farm remembers.
Addie, you don't remember that?
No, I do. I don't think I was expecting to hear that sentence in Idiots of the Day today, so I apologize. I do remember that, yes.
I mean, anytime John Gruden comes up, I think about when he was fired from the NFL and has had to work his way back because of a slur that he used in an email. By the way, the Utah Utes head coach, Morgan Scalley, did the same thing, but is the Utah Utes head coach. So, I guess it's not rare for coaches to use this word.
I'm not sure. Well, that's also... I'm going to hold my comments on that.
On the Utah head coach using that word in a text?
What's the next idiot?
Can you explicitly say that it's bad and we shouldn't do it?
Oh, yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible,
Okay,
but
so
I
maybe
understand why they kept him at head coach over there. Like, I see why.
In Utah? Is this a Utah joke? Yeah. Conversation, Diego Pavia, John Gruden. Here's what Pavia had to say to Big Brew.
You know I'm coming back. Let's find a fair number that I could come back for. And so we worked it out. And
now, are you representing yourself, or do you have an agent?
No, I'm representing myself.
Wow.
Yeah. So I didn't think it was fair that someone was going to represent me and take 5 to 10%. Ain't nobody taking my money. I'll tell you that.
It's unbelievable for a young guy to be able to do this, man.
No, appreciate it.
I mean, shit, this is great, man.
So, for Pavia, who doesn't want 5 to 10% of his pay to be taken away in the NFL, so he's going to represent himself. Hold on, wait a second. I just Googled it, Addie, and it looks like The cap for NFL agents is 3%. Where did he get this 5 to 10% number?
Where did he get that he was 6 feet tall when he's like 5'9"? Where does he get that he's like the best quarterback in college football? This man is just delusional. This is a delusional man. He's literally Johnny Manziel 2.0. Just delusional, and he's not going to succeed because of this. He's so arrogant, and it's just that's not what you need in order to be a good quarterback. You don't have to act like this. Be like, I don't want anybody taking my money. Gosh. And then his mom's going to be on the sideline, hanging over the edge of, like, the ledge with, like, the way she's doing the Heisman. God.
Vrabel probably hangs out with his mom, too.
That's probably true. That's probably, allegedly. That's what the streets are saying.
Allegedly. Also, wasn't John Gruden who explicitly said the N, again, shouldn't say the N-word, want to be very clear in emails, did not explicitly say the word. I want to correct myself there. He did just say outright racist things. So it wasn't like it casually dropped the word in conversation calling one of his homies that. No, he just said like racist things about a black guy.
Can't say
which
that.
We also really shouldn't do, by the way. And the anti-gay stuff too, which... Oops. But yeah, you know what? He did get fired from the NFL, and now he's hosting shows with Diego Pavia, baby. Idiot of the day, John Boy. Here is home run call for a Rosario home run, where you get the home team and away team broadcast call.
At third instead of McMahon. Drilled deep to left field. If it's fair, it's gone. It is gone.
Struck out and grounded into a double play. Puts a good swing on one to left, and it's gone.
That's just Jenny Kavnar doing what we all do as sports fans and being upset when the opposing team hits a home run. I get that. Well, did John Boy ever make a big deal about this call in the ALDS between the Yankees and Blue Jays? All right, on to the next. Idiot of the day. Maybe the Pirates. Here is Paul Skeens reacting to the 9-year, $140 million contract extension for Connor Griffin. Paul?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's hopefully at some point it's going to quiet down for him because I think this is his 6th day in the big league. So not every day, not every week is like this. I'm sure he'll learn, but yeah, just super happy for him and his family. Glad he got a deal that works for him, and yeah, he's going to be the face of the Pirates for a long time.
Oh, it's a big part of.
Oh, did he just? Hold on. Did he just say he's going to be the face of the Pirates for a lot? That Connor Griffin's going to be the face of the Pirates? Paul Skeens just said that, Addie?
Apparently, Paul Skeens is not going to be the face of the Pirates for a very long time. Apparently. Allegedly. Because from that says Connor Griffin. And if you're the Pirates, you should lock him down. You should sign Paul Skeens to a lucrative deal. You just did it with Connor Griffin, but get ready to learn Los Angeles Dodgers. Paul Skeens.
Interesting. Yeah, wouldn't you? This sounds oddly like Kirk Cousins, and I don't think I want to be Kirk Cousins right now. In Kurt saying that he's very clearly doesn't want to be the starting quarterback for the Raiders if he's not the best starting quarterback. Like, all right, Kurt, shouldn't you be telling us that you are the best and you want to win and you want to compete? No, Kurt did not and has not done that. Oopsies. Those are our idiots of the day. Plenty of those. Guess you can throw in honorable mention. Still Mike Vrabel, Dianna Rousini. Here's the deal. The Bruins, the Celtics, the Red Sox, Mike Vrabel. There is something brewing in Boston, and none of it seems great. I mean, close but no cigar for the Celtics, who will secede the East to the Detroit Pistons. The Bruins, who are finally catching on and need to at the right time because the NHL postseason is upon us. We are very close, and the Bruins still outside looking in right now. Not eliminated, but they need a little bit of help still. 96 points this year. How about, tough to avoid it, tough to keep away from the Mike Vrabel conversation, what it does to New England. How about what it does to New England? You got to get there. Cameron Stewart from the Wicked Boston Sports Show, or something like that, joins the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money, see? So yo, world, I hope you're ready for me. Now gather round. I'm the new fool in town, and my sound's laid down by the underground. I'll drink a bottle of Hennessy you got on your shelf, so just let me introduce myself. My name is Humpty, pronounced with the umpty. Yo, ladies, oh, how I like to funk thee. And all the rappers in the top 10, please allow me to bump thee. I'm stepping tall, y'all, and just like Humpty Dumpty, you're gonna fall when the stereos pump me. I like to rhyme, I like my beats funky, I'm spunky, I like my oatmeal lumpy, I'm sick with this, straight gangsta Mac. But sometimes I get ridiculous. I'll eat up all your crackers and your licorice. Oh, yo, fat girl, come here, are you ticklish? Yeah, I called you fat. Look at me, I'm skinny. It never stopped me from getting busy. I'm a freak. I like the girls with the broom. I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom. I'm crazy. Allow me to amaze thee. They say I'm ugly, but it just don't faze me. I'm still getting in the girls' pants, and I even got my own dance. The Humpty Dance is your chance to do the hump. Come on. I do the Humpty Hump. Come on, I do the Humpty Hump. Check me out, y'all. I do the Humpty Hump. Just watch me do the Humpty Hump. Yeah. Do you know what I'm doing my Humpty Hump? Come on. I do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. People say, yo, Humpty, you're really funny looking. That's alright, cause I get things cooking. You stare, you glare, you constantly try to compare me, but you can't get near me. I'm giving more C, and on the floor B, all the girls, they adore me. Oh yes, ladies, I'm really being sincere, cause in the 69, my Humpty nose will tickle your rear. My nose is big. I'm not ashamed, big like a pickle. I'm still getting paid. I get laid by the ladies, you know I'm in charge. Both how I'm living and my nose is large. I get stupid. I shoot an arrow like Cupid. I use a word that don't mean nothing, like Luke did. I sang on Do What You Like, and if you missed it, I'm the one who said just grab them in the biscuits. Also told you that I like to bite. Well, yeah, I guess it's obvious I also like to write. All you had to do was give Humpty a chance, and now I'm gonna do my dance. The Humpty Dance is your chance to do the hump. Come on. Yeah, sexy lady. Do the Humpty Come on, I'll do the Humpty Hump. Sexy baby. Everybody, come on and do the Humpty Hump. Oh, do you know what we're doing? We're doing the Humpty Hump, y'all. I'll do the Humpty Hump. Watch me do the Humpty Hump. Yeah, that's the break, y'all. Let a little that bass groove right here. Yeah. Now that I told y'all a little bit about myself, let me tell you a little bit about this dance. It's real easy to do. Check it out. First I limped to the side like my leg was broken, shaking and twitching, kinda like I was smoking. Crazy, whack, funky. People say you look like MC Hammer on crack, Humpty. That's alright, cause my body's in motion. It's supposed to look like a fit or a convulsion. Anyone can play this game. This is my dance, y'all. Humpty Hump's my name. No two people will do it the same. You got it down when you appear to be in pain. Humping, funkin', jumping, dig around, shaking your rump. And when a doodle chump punk points a finger like a stunt, tell him step off. I'm doing the hump. The Humpty Dance, here's your chance to do the hump. Everybody, I do the Humpty Hump. Come on, I do the Humpty Hump. Sexy lady, I do the Humpty Hump. I'm doing the Humpty Hump. We're doing the Humpty Hump, y'all. Watch me do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Black people, I do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Come on, white people, I do the Humpty Hump. I do the Humpty Hump. Puerto Ricans, I do the Humpty Hump. Just keep on doing the hump. Samoans, Once again, the underground is in the house. I'd like to send a shout out to the whole world. Keep on doing the Humpty Dance. And to all the ladies, peace.
Pounding a rhythm to the brain.
It is the Drake Toll Show. Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. Look, no two ways around it. Weird things are happening in Boston. The molasses is overtaking the streets. The tea is being thrown in the harbor. There was a massacre. The British, they came. Now what? All of that somehow pales in comparison, though, to Mike Vrabel and Dianna Rousini, Sedona Gate, getting away on a spicy Sedona soiree and headed out west like two friends do, interlocking fingers as friends, hugging as friends, in the hot tub platonically in their bathing suits, as people do. And now the head coach of the New England Patriots and one of the NFL's top reporters, most well-known reporters, are in the middle of what could end up being a Sedona scandal. Cameron Stewart from the Wicked Boston Show with Cam Stewart joins the Drake Toll Show. Cam, have you ever interlocked fingers platonically with someone of the opposite sex?
Yeah. Have you not? Wait. That's not a real thing. That's how I greet my mother-in-law. Is that not good?
It does seem to be a commonality in Boston, or at least in the New England Patriots organization.
That got a big laugh out of you, dude.
What do we do with this? What do we do with Mike Vrabel and Dianna Rousini?
I don't look. The first thought I had when I saw this was my brother's having his bachelor party in Sedona this summer, and I just started reaching out to all my attractive female platonic friends just to see if anyone was in the area. I guess this becomes an ethics question, doesn't it? Like, we know the insiders hang out with the coaches, but I didn't know it was this much. So you're telling me that you're not buying that this is just two friends here, huh?
I'm starting to believe it was the first picture of the interlocking hands was one thing. The hug was also pretty normal. I've seen hugs before. It was the
no eye contact
suit.
in that hug.
No eye contact in the hug. With the hands there could have been. The hour and a half long breakfast, I didn't draw the line there. Where I drew the line was those bougie pool chairs that are sunken about an inch into the water, and they're both sitting there bathing in the sun, sitting lovingly next to each other. That's where I drew the line, and I think we crossed from platonic into the Sedona scandal territory.
Yeah, I think we crossed the Rubicon with the whole, yeah, it was me and my boys, but we drove 2 hours to get there and 2 hours back. Fellas, why don't you go hit some golf balls? I'm going to hang out with my friend, whom I never see, never during the season, and we're just going to talk some football. I think there might be something nefarious here. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to put it all on the table. I think there might be something extra going on here with Vrabel and Rousini. I'm just saying.
Well, we can close this part of the conversation there, too. If there is something nefarious, last thing I've got on it, if there is something nefarious going on there, does it do anything to Vrabel? I mean, is this a distraction worth calculating, or is this something that happened, we all find it funny, and we move on quickly?
Good question, because we need to factor in the guy's been married for 26 years and has a couple of adult children. That's kind of tough. And yeah, these things seem to, I think it happens around the league, but the Patriots seem to bring it up at the best times possible. And hey, I will say this was something I was thinking about when the news broke, is I'm not saying Mike Vrabel needs to be fired, but the most recent example of this in Boston sports is not is from not all that long ago, in 2022, when the Celtics had a first-year head coach. They made the NBA Finals, lost, and said coach was having an extramarital, extra engagemental affair. Now, granted, that was with a team staffer, but Ime Udoka got fired because of that. And Dianna Russini doesn't work for the Patriots, but as an NFL insider, she holds a lot of the cards and can report just about anything on the Patriots that the head coach gives her. And let's say this continues to go on and, you know, the ownership has a meeting with Mike Vrabel that doesn't go all that well. You know, what then gets to the media? Or if a player is having a tiff with Mike Vrabel, what then gets to the media and gets out there? This is very anti-Patriot, the Patriot way, so to speak, that it looked like Mike Vrabel was picking up where Bill Belichick left off. So I don't think he should be fired, but it is an interesting example that, like, the most recent one we have in this city did result in a coach getting fired and the Celtics having to really roll the dice on promoting Joe Mazzulla. Now, that's turned out really well, but it's kind of an interesting comparison at this point.
Let's take you from steamy, well, it's dry heat, but it was still steamy in Sedona. We'll take you from steamy Sedona to the ice. Cameron Stewart of the Wicked Boston Show, joining the Drake Toll Show at Real Cam Stewart on Twitter. April 1st, the Bruins were coming off winning 6 of 7, and I said, hey, the Bruins are a legitimate contender. They've figured it out. This Bruins team is going to march their way to the postseason and be a formidable opponent for somebody in the playoffs. And I was the fool. They have not won. The Bruins have not won a contest since April 1st. March 31st was their last win, doubling up the Dallas Stars. And the Dallas Stars are a good hockey team. What do we do with the Bruins, who are 0-4 in their last 4 contests?
You know what you do? You call up your best prospect that you've had in a decade. The first top 10 pick you've had in 15 years. They did sign James Higgins to his entry-level contract last night. That is a huge boost for the Bruins. And I'm not saying he's going to come in here and, you know, put up 5 points in the 3 remaining games that they have in the regular season. He's still small. He's obviously, you know, only had a couple of games of AHL experience, pro hockey. The game is going to be fast. But the Bruins need some offense. They scored 5 in their last game, but the 3 losses before yielded 3 total goals. So they need some help. Their power play, which was top 5 in the league coming out of the Olympic break, is now barely in the top 10. They've been about 15% for the last 21 games. James Higgins can help there. The Bruins have a lot of grit. They don't need any more grit. You know, outside of Tuesday night, they have had excellent goaltending the whole season from Jeremy Swayman. They don't need more of that. What they need is some offensive creativity and some speed and some playmaking. James Higgins brings all of that. He's the future of the franchise. I thought it would have been silly and actually, dare I say, downright stupid to keep him in the minors for the rest of this season and for the Calder Cup playoff run instead of doing what they're doing right now and giving him a couple of regular season games as they try to seal their playoff fate, which can happen with a win on Saturday, and then give him some NHL Stanley Cup playoff games. 6 of those are more important than 20 games in the Calder Cup playoffs in the AHL. Man, I can't wait. Is this gonna lead to the Drake Toll Show hockey spinoff?
We are right in the middle of the great Drake Toll Show hockey brigade of 2026. It's coming. It is. We're taking all the shots from the front and the back.
They need me to take, shots from the front and the back, whatever it is.
Whatever it is, it's on its way. Also, in the NBA, same thing. And conversely, where 4 games in a row that the Bruins have lost, the Boston Celtics look really good at the whole basketball thing. Winners of 6 of their last 7. The 2 seed is on lock and going to the Celtics, but they play tonight at New York. Am I going to learn anything about the Boston Celtics? Do they need to win this game with the understanding they'll beat New Orleans, Orlando, and lock up the 2? Do I need the Celtics to win tonight? Is there any reason for the Celtics to put it all out there?
No, you don't need that. I will say the Celtics getting a win tonight would get it out of the way and give you 2 games to rest your guys before the playoffs. But still, amazingly, I think this game can prove something to America because I don't know how many NBA fans have been tuning in to Jason Tatum since the return. You know, maybe they've seen some highlights here and there, and you'll see him in the playoffs. But this being, you know, a big-time game with the Knicks, national, you can see, and Jason Tatum obviously going to have something extra in this game. This is where he got hurt 11 months ago, where he tore his Achilles. This could be, you know, a chance for an exorcism for him. So he could have a huge game. I mean, the guy has been absolutely lights out since his return. And I don't know that the full NBA media has kind of caught on to this. I know it's not like no one knows that Jason Tatum's been good in his return, but the guy has more double-doubles than Kawhi Leonard has had in a career year. And he's played 4 less months of the season, 5 less months of the season than Kawhi Leonard has. I mean, he has been almost a triple-double guy since he has been back. And if you look at the numbers, he and Michael Jordan in '95, when Jordan came back from playing baseball, they came back around the same time in the season, and Tatum's numbers rival Michael Jordan's. And Jordan wasn't coming off an injury. He was coming off playing baseball, okay? Jason Tatum was coming off a potentially career-altering injury, or at least that's what we thought. What he's been doing has been nothing short of miraculous. So if we see a big kind of double-double, triple-double performance from him tonight, you know, it might not be like, you know, it might not change a lot of people's opinions on the Celtics, but I think a lot of the national audience will be watching and say, oh, no. Like, this is real. Like, the Tatum guy is actually back and that good. And what I do think is going to happen, Drake, through this postseason run, if the Celtics make a run to the finals, which they really could well do, I don't know that there's any team I'm worried about in the East outside of maybe Detroit with Cade Cunningham back. I'll give them that respect. But if the Celtics make a run to the finals, I think that is finally how Tatum changes the narrative around him. It's been BS for years, and he has been truly underappreciated by this league. But I think that becomes such a story that the narrative kind of fits the play that he has been giving. And, man, Bruins losing 4 in a row. Red Sox, by and large, this season have had the worst record in MLB. I get up in the morning, I go to bed at night, I get on my knees, and I thank the good Lord the Boston Celtics still exist, man.
Well, those Red Sox, before we can get Cameron Stewart out of here, I mean, look, we caught you on a good day.
Was that bong for the Lord or for Jason Tatum? What was the bong for my love for the Celtics?
I think the bonk was the knees. I think the bonk was Cameron Stewart being on his knees.
That checks out.
Yeah. I caught you on a good day. Garrett Crochet and Sonny Gray doing good things on a baseball field the last 2 days for the the Boston Red Sox to win the series against the Brewers. That said, it's still 4-8. I mean, I believe that the Blue Jays and the Mariners will find their way as they get healthy and get into a rhythm. The Red Sox, this feels like it has some more cracks in the foundation. Is this an Alex Cora problem? Is this a Boston Red? Is this a sell the team problem? Is it even a problem, or is it way too early and we're all overreacting on the Boston Red Sox?
Oh, there's so many answers to this. It is early, but there's problems here. All the problems and anxiety that Red Sox fans would have had going into this season, even a season with a lot of hype, have kind of come to fruition in the first 2 weeks of the year. There are problems as long as this ownership is doing what they're doing right now and not using the model that successful teams are using. They have had a great farm system the last couple of years, built by Chaim Bloom, who is no longer the general manager, president of baseball ops. All those guys, these young studs, the Roman Anthonys, the Marcelo Myers, maybe the ghost of Christian Campbell, William Abreu, all these guys were Chaim guys that he either traded for or drafted and developed. And so Red Sox ownership has seen that as a way to not spend money on premium free agents and not paying market value. Why? I don't know. They watched the Dodgers win World Series exclusively by signing big-name players and not being afraid to sign guys that are over the age of 30. And then they refused to do it. And this was supposed to be the run prevention year, and that's what you've seen the last 2 days. But, you know, their big money signing, Ranger Suarez, who pitches tomorrow, has an ERA of 9. The best pitching prospect they've developed over the last decade has an ERA over 8. Their bullpen is already floundering, and their defense, which has been the worst in baseball the last 6 years, continues to be about the worst in baseball. And they rolled out an infield yesterday in a day game against Milwaukee that was embarrassing. It was Wilson Contreras, it was Caleb Durbin, Andrew Monasterio, and Isaiah kind of Falefa. And I have people with a straight face telling me that this is a better team than last year. Their rotation on paper is stronger, but the two guys that make it stronger have stunk so far this season. And their lineup versus what it was at this time last year is easily worse. Easily. So they'll find their way. They're not going to be a team that wins, 70 games, but they won 89 to get in the postseason last year. And while the pitching is better, I don't know that I see a way that they're better than that right now. Like I can't see that even with a bit of an optimistic look based on what they've done so far. So is it a Cora problem? They run into the same issues with him every year. They're a terrible defensive team. He platoons too many guys. They're guys who don't have positions defensively, and we're seeing that right now with their best prospect that they've had in a long time in Roman Anthony, who can't throw from left field at Fenway Park, which is one of the easiest outfield positions to throw from in all of baseball. These starting pitchers are consistently not ready to start the season. There's cracks in the foundations with Cora, with Breslow, and with this entire ownership group. So all that to say, this team will be good, but they were in a position after last year to make a couple of, I would say, easy moves and be true World Series contenders. And I think they effed that up.
Yeah. At least Breslow knows a lot of big words and can maximize Q1 profitability. Cameron Stewart at Real Cam Stewart on Twitter. Thanks so much for your time early this morning.
Hey, anytime.
You can find him on the Wicked Boston Show as well every single day, talking all things Boston sports. No one knows them better. He is the expert when it comes to unabridged thoughts. He's not a lobbyist. He can tell you exactly what he thinks. It's Cameron Stewart. Coming up, Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel. Here's one thing Dianna said on tape, on audio, that's very damning in this situation. This is Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app. This is the Drake Toll Show.
Every team, every player.
If you want to feel better, don't let the devil make you toss this letter. If you've been crushed up by voodoo, the wizard or the lizard, You got family trouble, man trouble, woman trouble, no light through the rubble. You're looking for a true friend or a true lover, or if you've been living undercover. Well, I'm coming to your town to break it all down and help you with all of this. I'm looking to help you find bliss. One day, but one way, can't miss. I'm here to tear all the walls down. Doesn't matter if it's a large town or a small town. Just like Joshua on the fabled walls of Jericho, I'm here to tear down the institution. God spoke to me, said, listen to me. I anoint you with the power that'll get them all moving. You're agitated, you're prayed and meditated, you're concentrated on getting elevated. By sundown, one day, you who come will be blessed with a big money blessing. You will be doubted by all the unbelievers on all of the things I'm addressing. But you must tell 7 friends. You must first bring 7 friends. And don't be selfish and keep this all to yourself and don't eat shellfish. Hate is trying to take someone else's love for yourself. But I'm here to tell you that love is trying to help someone else. I realize that you have tried and are just about ready to give up. But I got good news for you. God has spoken to my mind and told me to tell you to get moving in the right direction for a change. I'm gonna put you in the fast lane. You need to see me right away so I can fix this up. You need to see me right away. You need to see me right away so I can fix this up. You need to see me right about now. Count 7, open up the windows of heaven and pour out a rich and mighty blessing. Not on this town or her town, but your town. Are you ready for the message? I have a special financial blessing that once I have placed in your hand. Yeah, I want you to begin using this blessing on the very first day that you can. And if you are suffering a straight sickness, or someone is blocking up all of your success, you need to see me right away so I can fix this up. Sounds sincerely yours in faith, love, and peace, your friend Archbishop Harold.
Stop it. Shut up. This is the worst. You guys would not last a minute in the asylum where they raised me. They're going to look back and say, remember the early days of the Drake Toll Show? That was off the rails. Thank goodness for Armin Williams, Colin Jones, Bruce Gilbert, and Ryan McGuire for letting us continue to have our jobs and stay on the air, which I like. Having a job is good.
It's a good song.
You know who might not have a... Yeah, who sings it? Come on, who sings it? Come on.
SpongeBob. It's Electric Zoo. SpongeBob SquarePants soundtrack.
Sping Bing? Sping Bing?
Spoot Boot. Spoot Boot. Scoot Boot.
Kirch Hubert Davis. Some of the best.
The 31st.
Freudian slips of the Drake Toll Show and its
come in handy
early history. You know, someone else who might be fired could be one Dianna Russini, who did some questionables. And the questionable thing is going with a group of friends to meet Mike Vrabel in Sedona. And I'm not sure how it all came about, but it did. And they were there together, locking hands and chatting it up and being real sweet-like with one another. Here is a snippet, another honorable mention. There are like 14 new clips that have come out in the last 24 hours of Dianna Russini saying the craziest things you've ever heard an NFL reporter, someone who we respect and listen to for their NFL reporting, say. Here's more from Dianna Russini.
For 12 days. I'm not going to sleep. I'm not going to eat. My family's going to hate me. My husband's going to threaten divorce. But we've signed up for this. This I didn't sign up. I was not ready. And we're getting divorced at the end of the year.
Right. Stop. Breaking news. Don't say that.
It's hard. We're going through it.
Sorry, Kev.
Dianna, with the Eagles,
he doesn't even know who I am right now.
I haven't seen
I think he's okay. Oh, he has. We've talked about. We've never been more disconnected in our lives. Our text messages look like two robots. Hello.
Just going through the motions.
Is he getting? Yes.
Is he getting
Boys
Eagles
alive?
insider in the divorce? Love you. Any of that? Love you. Love you too.
No, not even an emoji. I get a picture of Mikey and Joey looking adorable and perfectly dressed because Kevin's so good at that.
Right.
And I'll write back, miss you guys, you too. He texts the next day.
Yeah.
Going to work. I'm like, what? 15 hours just passed.
Right.
So I have a lot of work to do, guys, when I get home.
Yes.
A lot of work to do.
On your marriage, is what you're saying.
Yeah. My marriage. I'm going to be a full insider on my marriage the second I land.
Right.
You know, this would already be weird. Let's think about this. Let's put it in a different context. If Mary Kay Cabot came on the show, which she's been on the show before as a guest, well respected, top of the line, like A+, great at what she did. I said, Mary Kate, what have you been reporting on recently? How are things going? My husband hates me. We're getting divorced. I would probably call Addie after the show and be like, hey, number one, we should make sure that we get this guest a therapist. Number two, can we not ever have them on again? Because that's a really weird thing to do. Now, Mary Kay Cabot wouldn't do that. She's a consummate professional. I'm using that example because it'd be weird if she did, because you wouldn't expect that because she's so good at what she does. Conversely, if we had, say, Scott Van Pelt, like America's dad, on the show tomorrow, like, hey, Scott, oh, you know what? No, let's go with Herm Edwards, who's been on the show. Let's keep going with guests who have been on the show before. Herm Edwards. Hey, Herm. A lot going on. NFL draft coming up. NIL, transfer portal, the way it's changing. Kirch, could you tell me about, what you're covering with ESPN? And Herm was like, I want a divorce. Whoa, Herm, dog. Hey. What are you talking about? He's like, nope. I mean it. I want a divorce. My wife and I don't text anymore. She goes 15 hours without responding. She's good at dressing the kids. That's about it. I need to be an insider of my own marriage. I need to go home and fix things in my marriage. You'd be like, what the hell is Herm Edwards talking about? He's off his rocker. But again, Herm Edwards, he's the consummate professional. He would not do that. Not that kind of consummate, That's more of a Dianna Russini kind of deal. So what I want to portray here is like these in the context of her going to Sedona, spicy Sedona, this Sedona scandal, this Sedona gate. In that context, what I want you to understand is all these clips sound like, oh, she just said some funny thing one time on a podcast during an interview. But I want you to remember that if Mary Kay Cabot, Scott Van Pelt, Coach Herm Edwards said these things, you'd be like, that's really, really weird. Because it is. Namely, after we see you interlocking fingers with Mike Vrabel and being shirtless with Mike Vrabel and being in the pool with Mike Vrabel and the hot tub with Mike Vrabel and the breakfast for 90 minutes with Mike Vrabel, that is a problem. That is a problem. Even if they didn't do the dirty. Even if they didn't do it. This is a problem when you're a source with the Eagles or the Jets or the Bills and you've been feeding information to Dianna Rousini, and that information very well could be going right to Mike Vrabel. Nice. You probably feel really great about that, don't you? It is Thursday. It's time for Are You Smarter Than Drake Toll? Curtis Poindexter got the best of me last week, so I've got to, he's been smarter than me one time in 3 months, but today's the day. I've got to pony up and beat his ass.
Give it to him, Curtis. Are you ready?
Good answer.
All right, Curtis, what's the first category?
History.
Alrighty, beginning in the 1920s, what period marked a surge of creative expression in art and literature within the black community?
Kurt?
The 20s? I don't know, man.
The Harlem Renaissance. Read a book.
Damn it, Curtis. What's the next category?
Music.
What guitarist performed the solo on Michael Jackson's Beat It?
Shoot. Kurt?
Very easy.
Like Vrabel.
Sting?
Sting plays the bass. Can't emphasize that enough. He's a bassist.
A wrestler Sting.
Try one more time. You both get one more guess. Just name a famous guitarist during the 70s. There you go, because that'll help
Come on,
you.
Curtis.
What's the AC/DC guy's name?
Nope, not.
I think it's the 80s, by the way. Pretty sure it's the 80s.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it was
was in the...
before my time.
Hold on. Time. Yes, that song came out in the 80s, but I'm saying this guy was more famous in the 70s. The guitarist.
Jimi Hendrix is dead already. Mick Jagger.
Nope. All right, it's Eddie Van Halen. Good job, guys. You really nailed it.
Good answer.
It's news to me. News to me. Good answer.
Science.
Ooh.
Science.
What process do bats use to locate their prey?
Echolocation.
Curtis!
I would like to say echolocation.
No, Curtis got that one. You're wrong. All right, next category.
Movies.
Name Disney's first film.
Snow White.
Snow White.
Curtis!
Okay, no. This is rigged.
Curtis got it right before you.
People could
No, he
hear it
didn't.
first and could go to the tape, but we won't know for another 3 minutes.
7 minutes. What's the next category?
Random.
Which driver has won the most Formula One championships?
Lewis Hamilton? Oh, well.
Drake?
Lewis Hamilton.
Michael Schumacher.
Oh, who the hell was Michael Schumacher?
So did I technically win by one?
You don't know Schumacher? The skiing incident?
I don't think Curtis get.
30.
Are we out of questions?
And 30 seconds, yeah.
But Curtis won.
I don't think Curtis won. I want to protest this. I want to
I can't
protest.
believe ball knower doesn't know Michael Schumacher.
Oh my gosh, I should have gotten Van Halen there too. That's a brutal one. Addie Bates produces. Curtis Poindexter runs the board. Colin Jones, Bruce Gilbert, Ryan McGuire, Armin Williams. Thanks for a job. Westwood One Sports. The Westwood One Sports app coming up. It's the fastest show in all sports net concepts. This has been, it always will be, the Drake Toll Show.
This is Westwood One Sports.